In a small coastal village, lived a humble fisherman named Kofi. One evening, while casting his net under the gentle glow of the moon, he caught a magnificent fish, unlike any he had ever seen. Its scales shimmered with an ethereal light, reflecting the moonlight like 1,000 tiny stars. Overjoyed, Kofi brought the wondrous creature to shore. News of the extraordinary fish spread through the village like wildfire. People flocked to see the shimmering spectacle, their eyes wide with wonder. The village elder, a wise man with a long white beard, advised Kofi, "This is no ordinary fish, my son. Treat it with respect and gratitude." Kofi, ever mindful of the elder's words, decided not to sell the fish. Instead, he shared it with the entire village. Each family received a portion of the succulent flesh, savoring its delicate flavor. Laughter and joy filled the air as the villagers feasted, celebrating the unexpected bounty. The following night, as Kofi returned to the sea, he felt a strange sensation. The moonlight seemed brighter, casting an even more enchanting glow upon the waves. He looked up to see not just the moon, but a shimmering figure standing beside it, the fish, transformed into a beautiful woman with silvery hair and eyes like the ocean. "Thank you, Kofi," she said, her voice like the gentle lapping of waves. "Your kindness and generosity have touched the heart of the moon. I am eternally grateful." The woman explained that she was a moon spirit, imprisoned in the form of a fish. Only an act of selfless kindness could break the spell. As a reward, she continued, "I grant you 3 wishes." Kofi, humbled by the encounter, thought long and hard. He could wish for riches, for fame, for a life of ease. But then he remembered the joy he had witnessed in his village, the shared laughter and the feeling of community. "My first wish," he declared, "is for my village to always have enough to eat, for the sea to provide for us abundantly." The woman smiled. "A noble wish indeed. My second wish," Kofi continued, "is for everyone in my village to be healthy and happy, free from want and sorrow." The woman's smile deepened. "A truly generous heart you possess. And my third wish," Kofi said, "is for you to remain free, to dance with the moon forever." The woman's eyes sparkled. "Thank you, Kofi. Your kindness has truly set me free." And so it was. The village prospered, the people lived in harmony, and the moon shone brighter than ever, a silent testament to the power of gratitude, humility, and the enduring magic of giving. The moon spirit, now free, blessed the village with bountiful harvests and a steady flow of fish. The villagers, forever grateful to Kofi, named him Kofi the Kind, and held an annual festival in his honor, celebrating the night he called the moon spirit. Kofi, however, remained humble. He continued to fish, not for wealth, but for the joy of providing for his family and sharing with his neighbors. He often spent his evenings sitting by the shore, gazing at the moon, remembering the magical encounter and the profound lesson he had learned, that true happiness came not from greed or ambition, but from the simple act of giving and sharing with others. Years passed, and Kofi grew old, his hair turning silver like the moon spirit's. But the spirit never forgot his kindness. Occasionally, on nights when the moon was full and the sea shimmered with an ethereal glow, the villagers would swear they saw the moon spirit dancing amongst the waves, a silent guardian of their prosperity and happiness. And so, the legend of Kofi the Kind and the moon spirit continued to be whispered through generations, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness could have the most profound and magical consequences. Years later, a young boy named Kwame, fascinated by the stories of Kofi, would often spend hours by the shore, gazing at the moon, dreaming of the moon spirit. He would often wonder, could such magic still exist in the world? One stormy night, while braving the fierce waves, Kwame found himself caught in a raging current. Fear gripped him as he was tossed about like a leaf in the tempest. He cried out for help, but the storm drowned his voice. Suddenly, a surge of light engulfed him. He felt himself lifted from the water, borne aloft by an unseen force. When he opened his eyes, he found himself on the shore, safe and sound. The storm had passed, leaving behind a peaceful, starlit sky. As he looked up at the moon, bathed in its silvery glow, he saw a fleeting image, a woman with shimmering hair, smiling down upon him. He knew then that the magic of the moon spirit still lived, and that the power of kindness, like the moon itself, was eternal. Kwame, inspired by Kofi's example, dedicated his life to helping others. He became a fisherman who shared his catch generously, a healer who tended to the sick without asking for payment, and a storyteller who passed on the legend of Kofi and the moon spirit to every child he met. And so, the legacy of kindness continued, passed down through generations, a beacon of hope in the ever-changing world, a reminder that the magic of the moon spirit and the power of giving would forever shine upon those with a compassionate heart. Years later, the village had grown into a bustling town, but the spirit of generosity remained. The people still celebrated the festival of the moon, honoring Kofi the kind and the moon spirit. They shared their bounty with those in need, remembering that even the smallest act of kindness could have a ripple effect, spreading joy and warmth throughout the community. One year, during the festival of the moon, a severe drought struck the land. The crops withered, the fish disappeared from the sea, and hunger began to grip the town. Despair settled over the people, their laughter replaced by worried whispers. Then, on the night of the full moon, a young girl named Amina, inspired by the stories of Kofi and the moon spirit, decided to act. She gathered all the children in the town and led them to the shore. They carried with them what little food they had saved, singing songs of hope and gratitude. As they stood on the shore, offering their meager provisions to the moon, a strange thing happened. The clouds parted, revealing a sky ablaze with stars. And then, the wind shifted, bringing with it the sound of distant thunder. The next morning, the people awoke to the sound of rain. It rained for days, replenishing the parched earth. The rivers overflowed, bringing life back to the sea. The crops sprang to life, green and vibrant. The people rejoiced, their hearts overflowing with gratitude. They knew that the moon spirit, touched by the children's selfless act, had answered their prayers. Amina, hailed as a hero, became a symbol of hope and resilience, reminding everyone that even in the darkest of times, the power of kindness could bring about miracles. And so, the legend of Kofi the kind, the moon spirit, and the children who shared their bread with the moon continued to inspire generations. It was a story that reminded them that true wealth lay not in gold or silver, but in the generosity of spirit, the kindness of heart, and the enduring magic of giving. News of the miraculous rain spread beyond the village, reaching the ears of the neighboring kingdoms. They marveled at the resilience of the people, their faith in the moon spirit, and the profound impact of their collective kindness. Inspired by this example, the neighboring kingdoms began to share their own resources, sending aid to the drought-stricken areas. The spirit of generosity, once confined to a small village, began to spread like wildfire, uniting the kingdoms in a wave of compassion and support. The Festival of the Moon, once a local celebration, evolved into a grand regional event, a time for all the kingdoms to come together, to share their stories, their music, and their gratitude for the enduring magic of kindness. Years passed, and the world changed. New technologies emerged, cities rose from the earth, and the old ways began to fade. Yet, the legend of Kofi the kind, the moon spirit, and the children who shared their bread with the moon continued to be passed down, whispered in hushed tones by mothers to their children, told around crackling fires under the watchful gaze of the moon. It was a story that reminded them that even in the face of adversity, even in the midst of change, the enduring power of kindness could always prevail. It was a story that inspired them to be generous, to be compassionate, to share their blessings with others, and to always remember that the magic of the moon spirit and the magic of giving would forever shine upon those with a compassionate heart. And so, the legend lived on, a timeless reminder that the true wealth of a community, a nation, and indeed, The world lay not in its riches, but in the kindness of its people, in their ability to share, to support, and to uplift one another, guided by the enduring magic of the moon spirit and the timeless wisdom of Kofi the Kind. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this video or what you'd like to see next. And finally, share this video with your friends who might find it interesting. Thanks for watching.